What up, y'all? Back at it one more time with a sit down with Mark. This time I got a chance to sit down with owner and operator of 180 Life magazine, Mr. Archie Jenkins Sr. Man, he talked about his upbringing, he talked about his hardships, talked about his faith in God. I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as I did. I ask y'all to like, comment, subscribe, let me know what y'all think. Y'all check this out. Time, dog. Like I told you, my platform is a chance to network, communicate with people all across the world, man. Just getting to know people from all different levels. I understand you got a lot going on, so I'm not gonna really hold you too long. But just go ahead and talk about how entrepreneurship came to mind.
Well, entrepreneurship for me came to mind with because my parents were entrepreneurs. They have been installing that into me since I was a little boy. You know, being a preacher's kid, my parents were musicians, having different businesses. My mother and father actually owned a Christian bookstore in the community.
Yeah.
So it started with that. Then life began to happen, trials began to come. And when I did finally mature enough after I had got released from prison, was I wanted to go ahead and get a government job. And I realized the government job that I wanted, I was never going to be able to get because of my background. So I told myself to make the type of money that I knew I was capable of making and the lifestyle I wanted to live. I'm going to have to do this from the ground up. So I put it to work. And that's how my entrepreneurship journey started. One foot in front of the other, man.
That's what's up. Also, man, I thank you for the opportunity with the magazine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were worth it. Thank you so much for being a part, man.
Yeah. Everybody nowadays wants to be their own boss and everybody wants to have their own business. What advice can you give some newcomers coming into this?
Entrepreneurship is a job. It's just because you're an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you can just do whatever you want to do. It does not mean that you can just make whatever hours you want to make. Entrepreneurship isn't a 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship is 24/7. So if you're not willing to put in the work, don't waste your time. I'm not saying that you can't do it part time. Also, I would also say right now, if you're still working on your plan and what you're going to do, work that job to fund your business. I fund my business 100% myself, and I wish I would have had a savings. That's why a lot of people go back to work because they ain't got no money saved up. They just got a dream, and what a lot of people don't understand, every opportunity comes with a fee, comes with a price. If it's your time, if it takes me 3 days to get this opportunity, I've lost money to pay bills, and you can't tell them, hey, I was waiting in this line to pray to be picked. And I watch people that do different shows and different things. You gotta have something saved up to fund your dream. If it's music, if it's writing, if it's a magazine, if it's entertainment, have something saved up. That's all I gotta say. And then lastly, I would say really, really when things are starting to look leery, things are you gotta have faith in God. You gotta have God, God, because some days it don't look like it's gonna add up, man. If I could be 100% with you,
Yeah.
some days I be like, okay, diapers are gas, and I just need somebody to, you know what I'm saying,
Gas or food.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gas, food, and and you like, man, and what a lot of people don't understand is being an entrepreneur in front of people. I still have to look presentable, so I still got my haircut. I still got to do this. I can't just okay. Now I'm an entrepreneur. I can look any kind of way. Now I gotta look like money because y'all ain't gonna support me unless I look like the par.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that comes another fee. But just really sit down and put together, hey, what you want to do? How much is this really gonna cost? Be for real with yourself. And is it okay if I get no customers for 6 months? How am I gonna live? That I give that because I can go on and on about that one, man.
Yeah.
It's so many tips that people don't understand go on the back end of being an entrepreneur. That is just people. It's hard to even explain it sometimes. But then, like I tell a lot of people as well, it's hard to explain how good God is and how many times
Come
He
on
done
now. Come
right
on.
before it's about to be over. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now.
It's different, man.
It's man. Um, Talk about some of the hardships you had to overcome and how it made you who you are today.
Some of the hardships I've had to overcome is forgiving myself for my past,
Yeah,
being overlooked. Some of the hardships that people don't support. You got a big old family. I got all these cousins, all these brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and I can count on one hand part of my family. I'm talking about blood family. Who all has a subscription to my magazine? Who they'll tune in. Of course they'll tune in. You know, they're being nosy. Who is he talking to today? Just so they can say, "Oh, that's my cousin, that's my brother, that's my nephew." You know, but when the support really comes, buying a subscription of something you might not read. I've been to so many offices, business homes, where I see my magazine in the magazine rack in the bathroom. And that tells me, man, you support me. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That people that's not a good place for a magazine to be, but
yeah,
you support me. But it comes to a point of taking it one day at a time
yeah,
and really learning that I have to go find new customers. Even though the customers come to me now, I got to still go out there and network
yeah,
because after I sell to mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, auntie, who am I going to sell to? Who is my audience? Um, and then you got to also look at it when you get out there, put yourself out there. You get overlooked because maybe you don't look like them, or you might not act like them, or I don't have the education. I didn't go to school for marketing. I went to school for mortuary science.
right.
So for me, it's like, okay, when I jumped out there, this was a new thing to me. So I'm learning terms as I go. It
Yeah,
was trial and error for me.
yeah,
So it was just really taking the time because I didn't like school, but really taking time to go to YouTube University, go to little networking events, go to conferences, not to get customers, just to get knowledge.
your knowledge of what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a big thing. I had the same thing, man. I had to when I first started doing this. I knew nothing about like media stuff, like technology wise. So I just kind of got with some friends that knew what was going on, and then I finally got my first gig at a news station, and I just kind of had my chance to be nosy. So my biggest thing was get foot in the door. Once I'm in the door, I'm finna be a sponge. I'm gonna have to learn everything I can. So that's just like you said, yeah. You learn, and you definitely learn from watching other people too.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Talk about some of your exciting moments as a business owner, Doc.
Exciting moments. I, I've been blessed to work with a lot of people. Like I've been blessed, bro. And like a lot of people get mad at me because I won't name drop. Because I feel like no matter if you're an A-list celebrity or if you're a neighborhood celebrity, you're still somebody that's doing something great. But one of the memorable moments for me was when I was on the set of Black Panther 2
Yeah,
and when I launched my magazine. That's what launched my magazine. Because I wanted to be a big actor, bro. That was my dream. Like, okay,
yeah,
that's what I'm doing. I was going to classes. My agents were booking me. Like, they was like, people don't book like what you're booking. And I'm like, hey, like you said, I was a sponge. Whatever you tell
yeah,
me to do, I'm doing it. I'm willing to drive. I'm willing to invest my own money into what my dreams. And I met some cool people there.
yeah.
Yes, I was blessed to meet Angela Bassett and everybody on the cast. They were very cool. Our trailer was right next door to their trailers.
Mhm.
And long story short, the people that was in my group of people I was working with taught me that there's a group of people that y'all don't even know. The world doesn't even know. And that's what made me create the platform. And so, like I tell people, Black Panther 2, I had never seen Black Panther 1. So,
Either.
yeah, don't come from. So, like for me to be on the set of Black Panther 2, I was already, I had ended up meeting Ryan and I met all these people. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who you is, but I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
Mr. One.
yeah,
So he like, you really don't know who I am? I don't, bro. Do you know who I am? No, I'm
um,
okay, well, let's get to know each other. You feel me?
yeah,
But it launched my magazine, man, and I wanted the platform was to show people that they're superstars that's in the grocery store with you. That's what the
mhm,
platform. I've been blessed for a lot of celebrities. Their publicists reach out, and we all, they get to meet me, and that's Mr. 180. And I've been on the radio shows and this, that, and the third.
right.
I've traveled the world with some of the best people I didn't even know existed. You know what I'm saying? but it's just really watching me be able to pour. And it's those people that get on the front of the magazine that say that, they're a lot older than me. I've dreamed of this my whole life. And they cry. And
Yeah,
I tell myself, man,
yeah.
that's what this is about.
It's
To
the
give.
impact.
I know this sounds cliche, to give back is my most memorable. I know it does. But
Hmm.
when I tell you that does me good, there's no money that can buy the feeling that you get when you really give back, man.
Yeah,
For real.
and the impact on the lives you touch, man.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I think that was the part, I was watching a documentary and I see my magazine on the table. It might not be much to some, but when you're on Netflix and you're like, oh, that's me, and you're on Stars, you're like, oh, that's, and you're like, like my kids, and just these are things that will never go away. And so my career's just been blessed, bro. It's really, really, really been blessed. So yeah.
yeah. Doc, last question, man, and I'm gonna let you go.
Hmm.
But before I ask you though, I know you said about being an actor. Um, who are some of your favorite? You got any favorite actors?
Um, I'll say Denzel Washington. I was blessed to meet Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
That boy cold. Michael B. That boy cold. Denzel, Ice Cube, he be killing it too.
yeah,
And of course Chris Rock, Chris Tucker.
right.
Will, that's my boy. Will Smith.
Hmm.
I've been blessed to meet because I was in stage plays for a long time. So travel different stage plays. Tony Grant.
Yeah,
He poured into my life. God bless him. Working with Tyler Perry, it just
yeah,
certain things, man. Traveling the world and being a part of. So yeah, just and being able to meet the people I see on the screen
yeah,
is
yeah.
like, okay,
I was that same way when I met Stephen A. I met him last year in ABJ, and
okay.
didn't even know he was there because they wasn't really trying to make a big hoopla scene about it. But he was real down to earth, man, real smooth guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, the same way he act on TV. Yeah, he that in person too.
Yeah. And that's the thing I had to explain. I was talking to some young kids that I speak to every month, and I told them, believe it or not, these are people.
Yeah,
They just
they
we
just
just
like us.
we just got cool jobs.
Yeah,
Like
only difference between anybody else, man, is income.
and that's really what it is. I've met some of the celebs that have the bad attitudes, but then I also, because I've been through so much in this industry
Yeah,
and in this business, I understand where their bad attitude came from.
yeah,
So I give them grace. But
yeah,
then there's some that you're just like, I'm not putting up with that. And me and management, we work it out, and then you realize they're a real cool person.
yeah.
Just they've ran into so much
So
stuff.
it is. Yeah, they done got to know it with it. Yeah, you
Mhm.
done got to know it with it. Doc, last question, and I'm gonna let you go. What would you never compromise with your business?
What will I never compromise with my business? I'm very careful about my brand, man. My business is like my baby. I got 4 children,
Yeah,
and
you
my
have a
big,
mouth to feed.
my business is my fifth child.
Hmm.
And what won't I compromise? I won't compromise my faith, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I tell people there's three things that have to go with me always. Which most of the time, like my kids, if you say, hey, there's strictly no kids, and I can't get a babysitter or a nanny, yeah, I won't come because I'm not going to, just drop my kids off to go do whatever. I try
Right.
to make sure 80% of the time I get accommodations or whatever. I'm not like I tell people, God has to go with me wherever I go. When I'm
Yeah. Yes, sir.
hosting, man, because God's been so good. And I
Yeah.
know this is about entrepreneurship, but I've watched God bring me out of dark places, and I will not let nobody, oh, well, you can't. There's been 2 shows that I had to, say, no, it's okay. This isn't a good fit for me.
Yeah.
Because they said I couldn't say how good God was.
Yeah.
Or I couldn't, you got to use certain words,
Yeah.
certain words. No, Jesus Christ did it for me, bro. And
Yeah.
guess
Here
what?
you
You
go.
can't accept that. I'm good on that. what I won't like a lot of people. I've been in a lot of different situations. That's I tell people everybody wants to make some money,
Hmm.
but I'm not compromising my soul for money.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
just want to make sure that I'm doing good business. I want to make sure that the people that are connected to me, that I'm blessed that people can say, "Oh, I work at 180 Life," and it rings bells now. That they do good business. So I
Yeah,
try to make sure that no matter which way I go, my family, my God, but I just want to make sure that people don't know I'm not in it for the money. And I don't want people to just be so transactional that it puts a damper on the relationship. You know what I'm saying? But one thing you can't disrespect, my team and stuff like that. We try to, but like I tell everybody, if you doing too much and you veering away too much from God, I'm cool on it. But other than that, yeah, I'm a businessman, man. So
that's right.
I've been in a lot of situations.
Yeah. Arch, I appreciate your time, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. We definitely gonna keep in touch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Definitely hit me up. Let me know, man.
I will when I'm finished it, I'll send it to you.
All right. That sounds like a plan. You have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.